Do not hire Franklin & Sons Electrical. The guy told me he'd shrink my monthly bill, and I'm like, dude, it's too small to read as it is.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then he's like, where's the circuit breaker? I'm like, bro, I didn't break anything.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
He told me I had a blown fuse. It's called a short fuse, and yes, I do have one, so watch yourself.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
It's our holiday extravaganza on the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Ho, ho, ho!
What's up, Santa? All week, we're decking the halls with some very special guests. Garth Brooks.
Did you guys dress up for me?
Plus, Whitney Cummings and Gwen Stefani.
Feliz Navidad.
With performances by Carrie Underwood, Meghan Trainor, and country star Brett Eldridge.
All I want for Christmas is a duet partner.
Your wish is my command.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Weekdays at 2 on NBC4 New York.
What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I'm your most gracious and humble host, Cigars with Mac. Today's topic is never burn bridges. Never burn bridges. Think about people I've seen in my life, man. Family members, friends, and they have a habit of burning bridges. I've noticed that. This supersedes race, class, social status. I've literally seen people burn bridges and mess up good relationships, i.e. friendships, i.e. monogamous relationships, etc., etc. And the older I get, the more I realize how important relationships are. You don't even have to necessarily be friends to have relationships. It could be just a business relationship. It could be a working relationship. It can be just neighbors. Excuse me. Today I'm smoking a CAO Flathead 660. A CAO Flathead 660. Go look it up. You'll like it. Go buy one. Anyway, before we get started, I'm going to need you to go ahead and download, like, follow, and share the podcast. Again, download, like, follow, and share the podcast. I believe I have it now where this will automatically post on my YouTube. So if you are listening to me on YouTube, or if you like to, YouTube, in the search box, Cigars with Mac podcast, I'll pop up. And if you follow me on YouTube, go follow me on YouTube. And when you follow me on YouTube, like the video. Again, like the video. Anyway, I think about my life, man, and the things that I personally went through, and I noticed that there have been times where I personally am guilty of just cutting people off. You know? That's not always good. It's not always good to just cut people off and sever ties. I always see people on social media post about keeping your circle small and all that bullshit. I really don't comment when I see people do that because it's elementary thinking to me. And I'm a firm believer, the older I get, you need to have significant relationships. You need to keep people in your life who are beneficial to you. And that's not misusing people. That's a good thing. I think about one time, just a couple months ago, we were in my wife's car and we went to In-N-Out Burger, and my son left the keys in the house, and I normally take my keys with me, but having my keys meant nothing because we have two different vehicles. So my son forgot to bring the keys out the house, and we wasn't even thinking. And we drove all the way to In-N-Out, which is about 5 miles from the house. And the car cut off after we got done eating. And so I think OnStar was closed. And I didn't want to pay an Uber to take me back to my house. So a good friend of mine, a brother of mine, hopefully he listens to this podcast. I hit him up, man. Brother came through. And man, that was just love, man. That was love. He lived down the street from me. He's one of my son's coaches. Really good brother, man. He and I think alike, but he and I also differ on some things. And I enjoy healthy debate, you know. I don't expect everyone to think like I do. But anyway, that's one example in my life where I'm so grateful that I have built relationships with people. And a lot of times, man, social media, man, it's a covering for some people. They hide behind, when you see them in person, it's all love. But when you on social media, they act funny. I don't dig that. A lot of people say don't take it personal. Well, I take shit personal because I'm human. I'm not a very emotional person, but I am very passionate about family and friends in my life. I can admit that. I'm a kind of person, I feel like if I show you love, I expect that to be shown back, and when it's not, I just feel disrespected, man. I feel like, damn. But the older I get, what I learned to do with people like that is to keep from being disrespectful to them. I make a habit of usually unfollowing them or unfriending them, even though I may have their numbers in real life. I do it like that so it won't ruin our relationship. And some will probably say that will ruin it, but believe it or not, it really won't, because now when I deal with you now, I deal with the person, not the Facebooker or the Instagrammer or the Twitter or the Snapchat person. And I do that for a reason, because some people, they change when they get online. They just act funny, man. I'm just the kind of person, man. I try to be consistent in my behavior. I do believe in change, but moody behavior I can't deal with. And to keep me from disrespecting people, I have learned that's, especially if we're friends on social media, I just disassociate myself from them virtually and deal with them on a real to real life basis. That's just my stick. I don't cut them off totally, but on social media, especially if I try to communicate and they just act shitty, I'm like, okay, well, let me back off on that level. But anyway, I feel like a lot of times the reason why people burn bridges and the reason why I've done it in the past is because I expect one thing from a person and I get something else and it's like, wow, this isn't the person I thought you were. And to think about people, the older I get, I learn to, how should I put it? Expect less from people. And if you get more, that's great. I know that sounds like a fucked up mentality, but by doing that, people don't let me down. I'm a bit disappointed, but it's almost like I don't expect more. Because there's an old friend of mine used to say, people are made of DNA, and DNA is subject to change and alter at any time. So by doing that, I learned to just place people in certain categories. You know, you have to learn to compartmentalize people. You know? But you also have to learn not to burn bridges. Don't do that. Take it from somebody who knows. Don't do that. Now, the good thing about me being married, like my stick right quick. The beautiful thing about me being married is I have a spouse, a wife. So we rely on each other a lot. Although I don't rely too heavily on people, you still need people. You still need people. Never count people out. Because what I've learned, a person may be in one position in their life right now, but a year from now, they can do a complete 180 and be on some real boss shit. I remember back in the day, a lot of people counted me out. People counted me out, man, because, you know, they looked at me as a real nice guy, a pushover. But what they didn't know was I was never a pushover. A lot of times it isn't that I don't see what people are doing. It's just I'm learning everything isn't worth acknowledging. If that makes sense. Some things are not worth putting energy into. Why? Because it's going to stress you out. As I always say, I have enough issues to deal with. I don't want to add on to them. And I suggest you do the same. But a lot of the reasons why people burn bridges, like I said before, is because A, they put trust in people, and B, you're putting people at the same level of character and integrity that you have, and it just doesn't work like that. You know, there are people I've had to cut off that I've cut off preemptively, and I shouldn't have done that. One of the things I've learned as I get older is it's good to be a good communicator, but it's also good to be a great listener. The reason why, because a lot of times people will tell you all you got to do is just listen. And my motto used to be, if I can't come at you respectfully, I don't want to disrespect you. You know? And so I adopted that ideology because I got tired of always having to apologize and say I fucked up, my bad. See, because the thing about it, I'll never get on here and act like my shit is straight, because it's not. I'm steady working on my shit. Believe that. When I say my shit, I mean life. I don't even strive to be perfect. For what? I'm just happy being myself and steady improving day to day. Like I say, even if you improve 1% every day, that's still improving. But the thing about burning bridges, man, is that human beings were all interconnected. And sometimes this person can get you to meet this person and get you to meet that person. And so you don't want to make a habit of burning bridges. You want to always have positivity in your relationships. Even if you disagree, you want to still come back to the table and say, hey, we disagree, but I still love you, man. It's no hard feelings. You know, I've learned that. And something I've learned is with age comes wisdom. Now, a lot of people don't embrace that. But with age, it's supposed to come wisdom. You know, the way you thought last year, you shouldn't think that way this year. You just shouldn't. I mean, you just shouldn't, man. And the thing about with burning bridges is that you can miss out on a lot of opportunities by burning bridges. Not just with family. You know, you would think you don't want to burn bridges with family, and that's true, you really don't. But just with anybody, man, you don't want to make a habit of doing it. Like, for instance, I'll share a story with you. I purchased this course. It was a weekend course, and a director. I tried to attend the course, but I had to work that weekend, and I probably only did 20% of it. I had to do other things, and I shouldn't have bought the course, but I did because it sounded like a great opportunity. And so one of the directors of the training facility, he hit me. He sent me an email, and I let him know what happened, and he told the people that are under him to put me back in the class. Nobody did anything. Now, had this happened 2 or 3 years ago, I would have went on their Facebook and badmouthed them. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. As the old saying goes, pet the donkey in the direction its hair grows. You know, if I got 20 steaks next to me and there's a fucking lion about to rip my head off, I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm gonna give him these damn steaks first so I can run my ass off. And what does that mean? If I was gonna talk shit to this school, I would wait till I got back in the class and got my certification But I damn sure ain't gonna talk shit right now. And even if, they honor their word, I'm still not gonna talk shit because I'm a grown ass man. And that's not how men are supposed to handle business. That's not how grown-ups, adults are supposed to handle business. And I learned that as I got older, as I'm getting older. But you got some people, even with being impoverished, they burn bridges. They burn bridges with their brothers, their sisters, their friends. But they're on Facebook shouting out friends that they call family when them friends really not there for you. And some people look at friends and family as ATMs. And I know I stress this a lot, but hey, repetition is the mother of skill. I know people relate to it. But a lot of times people feel like because you're not doing things for them that you ain't shit. So they're going to cut you off. When you probably don't know that doing something for you will put me in a bind. And if it won't put me in a bind, it may put me in a bind in the future if I continue to give you things. And that to me is a recipe for failure. A lot of times in life, what I've learned is you got to learn to deal with situations head on. You know? And people feel like because you're not doing things for them, oh, you don't love me. You don't care about me. You don't ever text me. Or you only text people when somebody dies or someone is sick. I've learned to give people their roses while they are living. Give them their roses while they're alive, man. Don't wait till people die. Don't do that. But some people, they continue to do that. They, for some reason, man, they just see no problem with that. There's nothing, excuse me, I had to sneeze. And there's nothing wrong with, giving people their space. I get that. But if you want to make a friend, be a friend. And I've learned to not take it personal if people don't call or text me. I don't. It doesn't bother me anymore. It never has. Because I have specific people I talk to on a regular anyway. But I always tell people, man, don't burn bridges, man. Don't do that. That's a bad habit. And something I learned is to always end on a good note. Always end on a good note. They used to say on TV back in the day when I was a kid, it's not goodbye, it's hey, I'll see you later. I guess that's a less painful way to say it, but I get the meaning. But what I've learned, man, is as I get older, I've learned is that relationships are so important. And you don't want to make a habit of burning bridges with people. Because you never know when you may need them. You just never know. You never know. You never know. And you never know who may be in a position to help you. Now I know the Bible says be the lender, not the borrower. I get that. And yeah, you should prepare yourself for success. But sometimes you just never know, man. You never know. You never know. You'll never know, man. But you have some people, they have a habit of burning bridges. I mean, these motherfuckers be homeless, burning bridges. Pride. Pride will cause you to go hungry. Pride will cause you to miss out on great opportunities. As a man, I've learned a lot of things in life. I had to swallow my pride. Now, do I allow disrespect? No. But everything doesn't require a response. My mother used to say, just because you think it don't mean you gotta say it. And that is so true. But we got some people in this world, everything that comes to their mind, they spit it out. As the old saying goes, they have diarrhea at the mouth. That's terrible. Diarrhea at the mouth, man. But some people, unfortunately, they were struggling 10 years ago and they still struggling now. They still struggling now, man. That's a problem. But a lot of times they burn bridges. They cut people off. You don't want to do that. They always say keep your friends, the saying goes keep your enemies close and your friends closer. I don't agree with that. I just don't. Don't agree with that. Now, there are times when you got to take a break from people. You know, I've done that. But I never disrespected them. Nah. Never disrespected them. Because at the end of the day, man, I may need them. I may need them. A lot of times people think that they'll be putting their parents in assisted living homes. But you better be very careful because you may be the one in an assisted living home and your parent got to wipe your ass. Remember that. Yeah, the order of life is you're supposed to bury your parents, but a lot of times it don't happen like that. It just doesn't. Man, life is a strange thing, man. Life is a strange thing. I've seen some crazy shit in my day. But you should always be learning, people. Always, man. But what I love about life the most is that it teaches you. A Life is so precious. Life is so precious. And never take it for granted. And learn how to make things work for you. If you know you're in a bad mood, take a break from people. Because you don't want that bad energy on other people. You really don't. But I always tell people, man, the older you get, the more you should learn, people. The more you should learn. And I say that because I look at life as a game. I do. I look at life as a game. And if you look at life as a game, you gotta learn how to play it the right way. I hear people talk about street smarts. And to a degree, in some situations, I look at street smarts as being somewhat savvy, not being a fool. But street smarts can really only get you so far, especially if you don't understand how the real world works. Because you got to understand, you got the street world and you got the real world. I've been on both sides. Now the street world is played by certain rules. But the thing I never liked about the street game was nobody plays fair. Everybody's out to get everybody. Everybody's out to make sure you don't screw them over. In the real world, it's about building bridges, not burning them. In the street world, sort of. The thing about the street world is you can hide and maneuver. But one thing you gotta always do, you gotta come back and pay tolls to the troll. Yes, you do. I don't want people to get it misconstrued because street smarts in some cases is very beneficial. It is. But in some cases, man, street smarts is useless in the real world. Because people in the real world don't play by those rules. In the street world is, you don't snitch. In the real world, you do snitch. You tell. And that's what people don't understand. You gotta know how to maneuver in both worlds. The street world is about getting fast money. The real world is about building a retirement, building a legacy. In so many ways, you want your money to outlive you, so that way it's passed down from generation to generation. So, is street knowledge irrelevant? No. But I live in the real world and street smarts only get you so far. But one thing I know, man, through it all of it's a game. You gotta learn how to play it. You gotta accept the good with the bad. You gotta accept the good with the bad. Remember that. The game never changes. The players do. You have the thing called universal law, man. You gotta respect it. That's why people say karma. You know, what you do unto others will happen back to you. That's true to an extent. But the main people hollering about karma do the most fucked up shit to people. I've noticed that. But I'll tell you this much, man. Don't change who you are for people. You change who you are for you to make yourself better. And don't burn bridges. Don't burn bridges, people. Remember that. You don't want to make a habit out of that, man. You want to be busy building relationships. Building. Creating networks. Creating alliances. That's what you want to do, man. Straight up. But anyway, thank you for tuning into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Please download, like, follow, and share the podcast on your favorite platform. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. Look me up at Cigars with Mac podcast. Like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share. If you want to hit me up for show topics, hit me up at info@cigarswithmacpod.com. info@cigarswithmacpod.com. If you want to support the platform financially, hit us up. Cash App, $ Cigars with Mac, $ Cigars with Mac. We out.
I hired Nuptial Num-Nums to cater my wedding, and it was a disaster. Everyone was raving about the food instead of my dress.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
They're like, oh, Veronica, the lamb chops. Did the lamb chops fly you out to Cancun?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
I will not be hiring them for my next wedding.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
All the last-minute gifts are on sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Get 60% off almost everything. Shop new doorbusters, including gifts from $7, socks from $2, tees from $8, and more. Find it all at Gap Factory or GapFactory.com through December 24th. Cozy up for the holidays with 60% off everything at Banana Republic Factory, including soft sweaters, comfy pajamas, must-have gifts, and more from $9.99. Find your nearest store now, only at Banana Republic Factory.